Hi everyone, this video is part of Macquarie University's coding tutorials, and today we'll be walking through the process of downloading and installing Visual Studio Code. Before we begin, please make sure you have Java SE installed in your system. If you haven't yet installed Java, please pause this video and follow along with the second video in this series first. To get started, we'll first visit the Visual Studio Code website at code.visualstudio.com. From there, we'll click on the download button in the top right corner of the page. On the next page, we'll find the appropriate version of VS Code for our system, whether it be Windows, Mac, or Linux. For Mac, we don't need to worry about our chip, as the Mac version is a universal application. Once we've selected the appropriate version, press the download button to download the installer. If on a Mac, drag and drop the downloaded application into your Applications folder. If on Windows, proceed through the installer without changing any of the options. Now that we have Visual Studio Code installed, we need to download an extension pack. Extensions are plugins that we can download and use in VS Code and give us extra functionality. They can provide new features such as language support, themes, debugging tools, and more. Developers can make their own extensions and we can download and install them. They are one of the features that make VS Code very useful. For us, we'll go to the Extensions tab in the sidebar, search for Extension Pack for Java, finding the one published by Microsoft, and clicking on Install. Now that we have the extension pack installed, we will use the code from our earlier videos which prints hello there to the screen. We can open something called the command palette by pushing Command or Control with Shift and P. From here, we can type in and select Java Create Java Project. Then we'll select No Build Tools, find a location to store our project, and give the project a name. We should now have a Java project with a .java file containing a main method in the src folder. We can rename this file to hello, which will also change the class name for us. We will then replace the main method with the main method from the hello class code we've used before. To refresh our memory, the code we will be using creates a greeting variable and then prints the variable. To run this Java program, we'll click on the Run button in the top right. We can alternatively click on the Run button on top of the main function we wish to run. We can now see hello there printed to the console. It's worth noting that there are some key differences between Visual Studio Code and Eclipse. Visual Studio Code is a text editor. Think of it like Notepad, but enhanced by the fact that you can download multiple plugins, whereas Eclipse is an integrated development environment. Visual Studio Code is a lightweight and faster tool, which is great for small projects and quick editing. Eclipse, on the other hand, has more features and is more powerful, making it more suited for big projects and complex development. Eclipse also has more advanced debugging capabilities, and you may find it more intuitive when using JUnit, which we will discuss in an upcoming video. At this point, you should feel more comfortable running a program in Visual Studio Code. From this point onwards, we will mainly use Eclipse. However, we recommend you try replicating some of the examples we do in Visual Studio Code. This will help you form a preference for which to use depending on what we are working on. In this video, we've covered how to download, install, and run a simple Java program in Visual Studio Code. We've also discussed some key differences between Visual Studio Code and Eclipse. In the next video, we'll practice using Eclipse and VS Code and learn how to create and call a function in Java. See you then!